Bang! Neeves and Hives, I'm Jared, and today we have a new prototype from Vosteed. This is the Vosteed Raccoon, and what a name. I love raccoons. I used to have a pet raccoon. Kara loves them too, and this is actually Kara's color, so she even loves it even more. She loves this knife because of those reasons. But it's also a pretty awesome knife, and we're going to go over it. So it is a button lock, as you can see. And one cool thing about it, you know, before we get into the ergos and all that stuff, is this button. So if you look at the button, it stays compressed when it's closed. It's barely popping out. So you know, I switch hands often to my left hand to fidget with knives, and with button locks, the one problem is you always wind up touching the button, and it messes up the detent for a lefty. This one does not. This one you can put your finger right on top, and the detent stays the exact same. Even for the thumb flick, the reverse flick, it doesn't matter. It stays consistent, just like with my right hand. Now, of course, you can intentionally push it and then it'll mess it up, but as long as you're just naturally flicking it, putting your finger right on there, it's going to be perfect. Now, obviously when you open it, the button does pop out, but even then I haven't been able to compress it. Even in a reverse grip with me trying to push it, I cannot disengage it. I can't push it. So the button placement and how it's in set works really good. Now, the micarta handles, the ergos, really good. You have plenty of room here, even to spread out a little bit. And then the pinky has this little thicker area, so it kind of wraps right there, and it feels really good in the hand. The clip, you can see it's not super deep carry, even though it is a deep carry clip. So it lands in a perfect place. If they would have put it right here, I would totally... It would be messing with my hand, but because of where they put it, it's super duper comfortable. Yeah, you're gonna see a little tiny bit hanging out of the pocket, but I could care less. I care about how comfortable it is in my hand more so. And then you always have the ability to choke up because it's not a flipper, so you can always spread out, you know, real good. Now, the blade shape is a spear pointish, drop point blade, and it is not a big belly drop point, so it has a low tip drop point, so it is very easy to get to the utility cuts. You're not going to have to lift your elbow up high to get really heavy duty utility cuts in, so the blade shape is going to be really good for everyday carry use. Now, the liners are inset with milling on it, so the weight's going to be really good. And I don't know the steel choice they're going to use. I'm guessing probably 154 CM or S35 or something like that. But why don't you guys let them know down in the comments what steel you would like to see used on the new Vosteed Raccoon. But very simple construction, only one standoff here, T8 hardware. I will say my one complaint so far, and it's a very little tiny complaint, is just that the clip could have a tiny bit more space underneath it. Like right here, this bill, it's very shallow, so it's going to have trouble getting over really thick materials. I mean, just for regular jeans, it's fine, but when you start getting into, you know, Carhartts and stuff like that, it might be a little bit more difficult to get over the seam. And then you don't have a ton of room under the clip. But if I was going to change it personally, I would barely change it, like just a little tiny bit, because I would hate for it to affect the ergos. Very cool sound. I absolutely love the sound of it. But yeah, good looking knife. I think it has the potential to be pretty popular. I mean, it's pretty simple, but it's a good looking knife, and functionally it feels like a great tool. The lockup is pretty solid. I can muscle some button lock rock or plunge lock rock, but I'm muscling it, and it is a prototype and it is brand new, so actually it's pretty good, because if I just checked it, it's solid. I'm muscling it in that case. No detent lash or anything like that. I'm liking it. So there you guys go. A quick look at the new Vosteed Raccoon prototype. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.